Uganda. Zasimwe. Gntv. ATUBANDIIZE.
Thank you, Desire, for that report. And then another news, after Uganda celebrating the Tarehe Sita Day, many Ugandans thanked the Uganda People's Defense Forces for providing peace and security to Uganda as a country and Ugandans as well. The Chief of Defense Forces of Uganda People's Defense Forces, General Wilson Mbasu Mbadi, thanked the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for the work done in the Uganda People's Defense Forces Army. Let's take a look.
Yeah, of course it makes us feel so nice that we are part of this country. We are part of the changes that have been happening, part of the revolution that happened, and it's like, it's a signal that we are treasured.
Well, it's a lot. First of all, I think about where I was and what I had and what went on in my mind and what followed, which was full of ups and downs, then the whole history of the struggle. So it's a feeling which they call nostalgia. That's what goes on in my mind. And I also thank God that after 43 years, I am still around to tell the story. My friends didn't make it. Many of the people I was with at the beginning, during, are no longer there. So it's a very, very memorable day.
Where we wanted the army to go. You see, there have been phases in the growth of this army, of the UPDF. There is a time when the army was fully engaged in operations. Fully. Between, you remember the Konyi War, those wars in the north, Western Bank Front and the rest. So the army was fully involved in operations. Now, when the army now succeeds in stabilizing the country, you have a force which is a variable, a force really a variable. And the beauty is that when we went into recruiting this new army, the NRA UPDF, we changed even the way in terms of qualifications and the people entering the army. Because before, people used to think that the army is for people who are not educated, the uneducated, the uncultured. Now, NRA UPDF changed that. Now, we went into the public and recruited people, young men and women who are educated, who have skills, and who are trainable. So when the operations ended or subsided, now we turned the force into a productive force, which originally it was, because the army was supposed to be a productive army and not a consumptive army. But during the time of operations, it could not have achieved the productive aspect of its formation. So when now there is a lull in operations, other than the peace operations outside, the army must be engaged in productive activity. That's why you see them now in building roads, constructing houses, constructing infrastructure like the airport and others, because now there is peace.
To me, Tarehe Sita is important because last week you celebrated the National Liberation, the National Liberation Day of Uganda. That wouldn't have happened if Tarehe Sita hadn't happened. So I think, honestly speaking, I would like to thank the 27 comrades that decided to take action and liberate the country, because without them, we wouldn't have been celebrating last week the Liberation Day. So I would like to congratulate His Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, on the 43rd Tarehe Sita Day, and also the fact that the theme says they are celebrating people's struggle for unity, security, peace. That is something we strive for in the diaspora. We strive for unity. We always look at a peaceful country, which we have today, and which also gives us confidence to come and invest.
Tutuusa okusima eri National Organizing Committee okuba nti omukisa ogw'omwaka guno baguwadde Busoga Sub-Region kitusobozesa okwanganga ebizibu byaffe nga babirabako. Ebizibu bya Busoga bingi nnyo, tugezezaako byogerera ku Parliament, tugezezaako byogerera mu Cabinet, naye nga tetufuna fair ruling oba fair response. So bwe bajja bati meeyi balina Mutumba, juzi twali Ejjinja, kati tuli Bugweri. Ate Teresita yo yanjawulo nti abajaasi bamaze omwezi mulamba nga batalaga all the districts that make up Busoga. So basobodde okufuna the real feel of the challenges and the problems that we have as a region.
Your Excellency, first of all, I want to welcome you to Busesa, where we are celebrating the 43rd birthday of our People's Army, when a group of 27 armed youths led by yourself conducted an audacious early morning operation at Kabamba Military Training School, which is now Uganda Military Academy, Kabamba, to launch the successful protracted struggle of the NRA UPDF. And this is what has delivered to Ugandans consistent peace, security and stability, which they are using to transform the country socially and economically. We are very excited to say we call you our founding father, and therefore this is probably Founding Father's Day to you. We also want to again congratulate you for being elected the chairman of 2 global communities of NAM and the G77 plus China. These communities boast of about 80% of the population of the world. As already informed, Tarehe Sita is this annual event that UPDF celebrates with Ugandans wherever they are, both here and wherever our troops are, in general, in a nostalgic way, to commemorate the founding of the new Uganda and the true liberation through the patriotic sacrifices of FRONANSA, NRA, and the UPDF, whose earlier commemorations we used to conduct in the barracks. But from the 24th anniversary, we realized the need to take the barracks outside in a rotational manner, and therefore according to regions. That's why we found ourselves in Busoga here, so that we can thank the people as the backbone of our struggle and foundation security.
In Parliament from different districts and different regions in Uganda have come out to appreciate the Uganda People's Defense Forces for over what they have achieved over the 43 years. They say Uganda People's Defense Forces has promoted peace and security in Uganda, East Africa and Africa at large. Let's take a look.
As the Uganda People's Defense Forces yesterday celebrated the 43rd Tarehe Sita Day celebrations, which marks their birthday ever since they took over in Uganda, some members of parliament came out to applaud the Uganda People's Defense Forces as Ugandans celebrated the Tarehe Sita. They said the Uganda People's Defense Forces have done tremendous work to promote and protect this nation, and this has been evident across the country. Though some members of parliament, like Honorable Mwana Kunyinji, said AME are becoming partisan and they are contesting in politics of which they shouldn't.
Enjiri ya Uganda wadde lyateekebwa mu ssemateeka waffe naye bali confusing ne bateeka mu ssemateeka ate ogenda okwesanga mu kifaananyi ekigazi siri erino kuba lino ejje eririwo likola mikolo na mirimu gy'eryaleemu kati ejje erya Uganda lirina kuba likuma bannayuganda kyenkanye lino twagala okuliwa challenge nti bannayuganda bakomplaininga naddala opposition bawambibwa bali mu court martial abamu tebamanyirwako bayitire amagye musirise kati omwogera ne mukuza olunaku simanyi teresita ne mutandika okutwaganga ng'omusajja atadde ecupa ku kati okubukabuka n'okuyita ku waya nga bino byetwalabanga mu ssomero ebyabafuusa tekimala twagala ejje litambulira ku disipulini ejje litambulira ku mpisa nga lyewala ebikolwa ebinyigiriza abantu twagala kati olunaku nga luno bandi badde balukozesa gamba nti bonna bali mu kooti masho tubeesonyiye nga bagende mu kooti ez'abantu awo bandi badde tucelebrating ejje twagala ekooti erigamba nti bane ababuziddwawo babano tubaleese ne mubasuula ku state square oba olinaye musanze nga tubazizza twagala ejje erivumirira ebikolwa byonna ebityobola enfuga ey'amateeka si ejje eriyambako ate abatyobola enfuga ey'amateeka twagala ejje nga promotion zakyenkanyi ng'owa central owa east n'owa north bonna bafuna promotion omusiraamu naddala musiraamu katuliki nga bonna bafuna promotion n'omulokole afuna promotion ejje litaliimu busosoze ejje nga ofiisa waalyo bwe yenyigira mu byobufuzi nga tanabakulekulira nga bamuvunaana kati ng'ono simanyi muhoozi ogenda ng'akalakala ku balale nga mumusirise ng'ejje kati teresta mu celebrating ki nga oledi baofiisa bamwe bamenya amateeka twagala ejje liri principled nga ddala bwe twogera ku nfuga y'amateeka buli munnayuganda acelebrating nti erijje lyabuwanga ejje lya discipline ate twagala ejje erikuuma Uganda ebyaddala naye kati Uganda buli kaseera mubamuyisa ekyulite mubamuyisalo ejje teritukuumye byaddala bakuma beebweru bawulira Somalia oba wulira twagala ejje ng'ogenda ebweru lifuna olukusa lwa parliament ejje ligoberera amateeka twagala ejje nga lyeryogerwako mu ssemateeka sirina eryaz'abaofiisa nga babukabuka mu bbanga batadde wano mu cupa n'alirambula yennyini ng'alitya agenda n'akantu kalinga kamberenge yenna yennyini n'alirambula yandibalinga head of state naye alitya twagala ejje nga abannayuganda bali secuwa mu maaso gaalyo nga wawulira erinnya wasanga ofiisa amusaamu ekitiibwa lwa bikolwa bye lwa nneeyisaaye si ejje ng'alengera ofiisa n'adduka niwakubali talina musango kubanga alowooza nti bayinza omuwamba so twandi bakikozesa buli teekateeka yonna ejje wali meetinga bejjukanye n'okwebuulirira ku principles n'enkola ya ssemateeka waffe kwatambulira ssemateeka waffe agamba nti wanaabawo ejje ly'eggwanga Uganda People's Defense Forces lijja kuba nani partisan nga terenyigira byabufuzi naye mwe abasirikale mwe abali eyo abacelebrating mutugobaganya nga tugenze kulala ezaffe bwe tugenda nti national mobilization kati ng'NUP tusangayo ab'amagye bomboola
so ninyenda ngumbagambire ngu entaro nimbi amahaga gana gatukuuma tushemeye kuba twesemere nambwe no muri yecho ninyenda kwebaza munonga muzeyi wetu Yoweri Kaguta Museveni commander in chief ahabwo kwebemberaje amahaga emico yagatiremu okwari kugatwaza nago gakahinduka gakaba nuko gatwariza abantu ni mushabira nguruhanga yongere no kumuhangaza.
Uganda People's Defense Forces deserves that glory because they have not only served and preserved the peace in Uganda, they have done it in the whole region of East Africa, they have done it in Africa, and they have done it worldwide. Because when UPDF is in Somalia, when UPDF is in Central African Republic, when UPDF is in Congo, UPDF is in other parts of this continent, it averts any terror danger that the world will experience, just like what America experienced. So I must say they deserve the glory 100%. They have kept peace in this country for over 38 years. And some of you who are youngsters, you've never known how war is, and you've never had those big guns, you've never had Saba. But some of us who were able to witness the wars of 1979, 1980, and even when the president came to take over power in 1986, we know what it means when you are in a situation of war. And some of us from northern Uganda who experienced what Konyi did in northern Uganda know what war is. So UPDF deserves that glory. They have done a lot, and they are not partisan at all. I have never seen UPDF get involved in partisan politics. They are preserving peace. They are protecting the territories of this country. They are protecting the region. That's why you see them in Congo. They were in South Sudan. They are in Somalia. They are everywhere. So they are actually the best world-serving force that the world has cherished in. Americans enjoy.
Omurumo gw'amahega ga Uganda n'okukuma abantu n'okukuma n'ihanga. Twenda kubasima munonga emyaka 43 y'ubashyitya, emyaka 43 ya discipline, emyaka 43 hino oratahira mu ihanga ryitu, omurabe kwa kureta umutwe bagutera, baterrorist bakireta umutwe bagutera, barekera obusinge obugwaje n'entebekana omu Uganda. Nicyo kurebera abaheru nuberkanga nubijaha cyubareta no kujya ngo haruho businge konka tabakomaho bonka abasirikare bitu bareta no businge Southern Sudan, Congo, Somalia na Central African Republic. So amahega UPDF tugasima munonga itonka parliament umurumo gwiki no kureba ngo kuba tushabe sente twazo bahereza bagumana bakora imirimo mirungi yo kurika ihanga ryitu ryo mu buteka ryo mu businge n'entungu. Icyo cyo nke kibakozere bagire no mu production nibekora amizi gabo kukunywa, bekora ibyo kurwanisa byabo, bekora entindo n'enguto orebere bariyon bombeka nambore hati orebere kibakozere cya Entebbe inguto za Kampala mu record time. So tusima UPDF ahabukuba amahega abantu, icya kabiri okuba amahegene discipline muco mirungi, icya kashatu no kuza umuntu unguka nayo gakagikora je munonga munonga.
Actually ntegateka amahega itu ga Uganda gagezeho ahabuku namunonga kusinjo mu Uganda. Iwe bagira ngo akanyonyi katagenda kagera katitata niwatekaje konka waza kwetororo kareba Uganda yitaheri na ibintu bitukora na za business ni obusinge buresirwa maheka nyenda gasari yukinga ahabwe cyo cyo ebinde bikuzamu ni individuals manyamahera garga itwa umbantu oko kuba inemize yawe mbi nona wazo mahe umwe no bogine kandi oyishwe ngurito tukuba vetinga tukubazira tukubasindikayo babakira so yakeka jire mchembi eje mchembi nebediye nkachi ukumuntu oka ekinde kinkwenda gamba ho yade twasemya keji yone ya tarehe 6 to celebrating tarehe 6 niwe ekikunkwata ho nkumuntu n'enshonga z'abasakare bitu abana bitu baryokwe nibaturwanira wareba ayiba kurara ukareba enjura nebatera yes bashime ko baryo muchaka konka barkayo bakirenga abana babo bari mu mashumero agakwenga kamo mana bamwe abakuza kore bikorobirevyo no kirigirira entase yabo ukwikubera so nyona ari ntekateka His Excellency nishwa karaganise ngo bombeke amashumero gabana b'abasirikare ayiba kubasa kushomera yaba ryo primary azo mu secondary azo mu university na HS ubundi yaba na college mirumo yo busirikare atakata hamu okukemebwa ningo kohibwa nango kaza no mukwiba ninga mukuza kwita abantu ninga mukuza kozesa kubembundi yeye orukurondo busente buragire ki burashomesa umwana so nyoni nyesiga ngo economy yitune stabilizing tukabongire makashara kandi yishwe ngo abinja bakiri kutunga mushara muke nabo bahansi bakisati abahansi okwe so nyoni nyesiga ngo akashara babahongire kandi nabana babo bakazo mu mashomero bakakozere kurunjo mu rugo gwabo hatarimo okwerarikirira ninga hatarimo abo mukorera ngumanya bakosa kubembundu zabo nyoni njya abamwe kabushoberwe ajatananye kanze kuba nagira ki na iyamba so nyoni yesi implementation ya His Excellency ya Gandre tukiteko mu nkora konko kunde biro budget yiteji eyembarira eyo mwaka 2025 tinkarebere mebyo so nyoni nyahaya kachiko ka defense and internal affairs kakuratire kikintu cyo kwestablishinga amashomero gabana babasirikare bitu aga ba Uganda.
Twehe Ronald, Gntv at Parliament.
Thank you, Twehe Ronald, for that report from the Parliament. And now in the district of Rwanda, reshuffles in the district of Rwanda has left some leaders out of their offices and positions due to some allegations of embezzlement of funds. Our reporter there has more.
Rubanda District Engineer Dennis Twesugomwe and District Production Officer Benon Kahanji have been immediately removed from their positions following allegations of financial mismanagement and failure to account for their offices. This decision was announced by the Rwanda District Local Council Chairman LC5, Honorable Stephen Kasyaba, during a launch of the first floor construction of Hamura Town Council offices that will accommodate a council hall valued at 97.7 million Ugandan shillings. Kasyaba pointed out that Twesugomwe and Kahanji are facing serious accusations, with Twesugomwe failing to provide a transparent account of funds allocated for various roads, culverts, and construction projects within the district. On the other hand, Kahanji is accused of misappropriating government funds designated for extension workers and engaging in forgery of documents. The abrupt removal of these officials has sparked concerns about accountability and transparency within local governance, particularly regarding the potential impact on ongoing projects in the district. The district leaders, authorities, and the community are anxiously awaiting further investigations and actions to address the alleged financial irregularities.
I take this opportunity to introduce to you Banjurire Mwena, District Engineer wa Rwanda Hati. Tachari Dennis Twesugomwe. Kiraliwo kusheka ningo kashemererwa kwa District Engineer Hati ni Habimana John. With immediate effect, tukagira ngo Dennis ahumure imirimo yeye hawako twaturareba ngo eraburamu. Wakigamba ni tukatunga mu bitikirizangana hangora kandi ibyasigire kabebembezi kagira ngo twatuze mu rutwe wenu John tutoringe mu department kugira ngo pasiteri department ejo department mu myaka ehingwire kutunga additional funding konka additional funding tine herarebe mugiga konka mutsigirege mune itabaroronga bururu. Therefore, we resolve that the district executive that Dennis ceases to be the district engineer of Rwanda with immediate effect. Kandi our accountability of the monies that we are not seeing for the district. Every time I take a decision, we are in Gotv. It's nothing. We shall not allow the district to go in a long direction. We are in Gotv. No way. We cannot accept that. We shall not, and we shall not succumb to pressure. Kuna tureba road fund baja ngono kumanda gro million chene ngwezo ve million yikuti ziriha chairman manager college. I will chase you away when you will see one abashija mbona muri ba technical people n'abantu batangushe muno n'abantu bacyasinga kuguma mu kora government.
We are in the district, we are working so much to reduce the levels of corruption. For instance, in the last month, we were able to interdict the district production officer after him failing to account for close to 200 million shillings. Money for extension workers, money for projects, money for purchasing fridges for vaccines. Now, we have also put aside the district engineer, and we have done so for us to track. There are a lot of expenditures, contractors, shadow contractors that want him to come forward and explain how did these people come in. False supplies, culverts not coming, gravel not coming. So we have told him to step aside so that the internal auditor can do thorough analysis of his accounts and the expenditures involved in. Now we have appointed Habimana John to be the district engineer, acting district engineer for now, as we follow up on the accountabilities for the former engineer. It's not on interdiction, but we have asked him to step aside to pave way for proper accountabilities of the monies which we seem not to understand how they were spent. Close to 52 million then another 32 million for culverts, then another 45 million for Rasayeza Road. All those monies they are becoming difficult to trace. So for us to get close to that, we are saying you be on the side so that the internal auditor can trace that money. Then we can probably say you can come back and work.
So at least we tell them that rules. If you don't have to have a whole day, but then we have a press. We go to the forwarding a message. We tell them a single to we are just cleaning up. We don't fight personal battles. We don't have an enemy there. You don't talk to them. No, it is principle. Maybe to the Kora. Can't go now to the drone system. Being zero up. Chairman Yanakan, but he said, we'll be to the recovery. Recovery said, no matter what you said, but you learn from the mistakes. So one question was mania. So you come to correct mistakes, but you don't miss. 2026, you don't to my head is that you just must have a 7. What's about the minister? What's about the chairman Kasiava? Who could if you make 7 years operate, Kasiama implementing that. Mr. Sent has rate. Shabaka Rurako, but may I was the wrong one. Now, a chairman is able to
in Kecha, district production and marketing officer. Akagira mweshonga yabashanga hine sente zitatambwireje accountability yazo etakurebekaje. So immediately the chief administrative officer took action after consultations with the RDC and the chairman. He interdicted him yarugo mu office kuko amateka ga government garagamba, government standing orders. Wawe ine shonga kauna requestinga you step aside, pave way for investigations. So investigations ezo niza kugumizamo ko mu myezi 3 zazitawire hari munka polisi n'ibindi bitongole maximum n'emyezi 6
za asimwe. Gntv ATUBANDIIZE.
For that report. And our dear viewers of Gntv, that's all we had for today, and thank you for being part of us from the time we started to the time we are coming to the end of our today's bulletin. I'm ALLIAN ATUBANDIIZE, Gntv at 12, and up next is a lunch hour service at King of Kings Church here in Barra City. Please come and attend with our beloved Bishop Dr. Silas Tayewa. Good afternoon.